And we are live. Heaven to the family. We're going into the richest man in Babylon. Our prosperity as a nation depends upon the personal financial prosperity of each of us as individuals. This book deals with the personal successes of each of us. Success means accomplishments as the result of our own efforts and abilities. Proper preparation is the key to our success. Our acts can be no wiser than our thoughts. Our actions, can be no wiser than our thoughts. Our thinking can be no wiser than our understanding. I'm at the point right now. I'm in the mix in the studio making a song about thinking. It's called Just Think. This book of cures for lean purses has been termed a guide to financial understanding. That indeed is its purpose, to offer those who are ambitious for financial success and insight which will aid them to acquire money, to keep money, and to make their surpluses earn more money. In the pages which follow, we are taken back to Babylon, the cradle in which was nurtured the basic principles of finance now recognized and used the world over. The new readers and author is happy to extend the wish that its pages may contain for them the same inspiration for growing bank accounts, greater financial successes, and the solution of difficult personal financial problems. So, enthusiastically reported by readers from coast to coast. To the business executives who have distributed these tales in such generous quantities to friends, relatives, employees, and associates, the author takes this opportunity to express his gratitude. No endorsement could be higher than that of practical men who appreciate its teachings because they themselves have worked up to important successes by applying the very principles it advocates. Babylon became the wealthiest city of the ancient world, which America is today's modern Babylon, because its citizens were the richest people of their time. They appreciated the value of money. They practiced sound financial principles in acquiring money, keeping money, and making their money earn more money. They provided for themselves what we all desire, incomes for the future. Okay, and with that, we're about to go on and put on my songs I'm about to be promoting and marketing out there, but y'all get exclusive on it before it's even put out there to everybody. And it's this one right here. Let's see here. And it's called, as you can see, I got 82 for the day. Total plays 15,325. But I'm looking at my man. Wee. Man, he up in the millions. But I'm peeping some game from him though. In just a little while. I'm working on that too. But as you can see, it's got 4 for the day. I'm not even marketing this one yet. Right here, ain't no I, ain't none identical. Meaning, ain't none identical than you. There's only one of you, and remember that. That what makes you special. And how can you not be special when there's no one with the same fingerprints, same body features? You see, if you put up on your phone your face, it ain't gonna recognize nobody but you, let alone your fingerprint. Whoever told you wasn't special was straight mad, hating, lying. You are special. So let's go into it.
I don't fuck with politics at all. I'm an artist, man. Every way, every sense of the word. I mean, I go to work. You know, I'm inspired by life. The game is bullshit, man. The game is fucking bullshit. If you want to rap or sing or whatever, don't become a part of the game. You know what? Listen to a song I call The Industry. And that pretty much explains exactly what the shit's like. The industry. I'm digital, non-identical. If you want to sign me, I'm a big go. I can bring this all the time. Pull up not your soul, let me show it to you. Your bloodline old. Now look at you, still never cold. Hard-hearted motherfuckers want to go. Didn't need you from the get up in the circle. That good of mine should have never hit the dome. Oh, gotta work it with no shirt on. Must have got too much up in your head, mind gone. So how you think you got the dead on his mind home? Just remember what I said up in them times. I ain't your time gone. I'm in the prime home. King don't be on. Now he's gone. I don't wanna hear you up. Now switch song. Blues, jazz, blues, you're the same song. Ain't no identical. No matter where you go, your mind don't get it though. Them folks just critical, and then they stick your soul to leave your body cold. Not tell them where to go. That's just the way you go. Up in the front they grill you, come from your right they kill you, and from your left they smear you, and from your back they chill you. Don't get it no, 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 don't get it no. I don't want your deal, nigga. Kid wise, expose that whole wicked system. Watch that bitch dry. I don't give a fuck what you don't kiss butts like for some tokens or some junk change food cut. That type of life sucks. I mean, it really sucks. If you can see up in them shade rooms, nigga, yuck, not just a yuck mouth. The whole entire rap. Said your soul wasn't gold, wasn't really cloud. That I never help your own. Ain't supposed to be wrong. Yeah, all alone. Only don't say tonic dome. Pussy could call you bitches. Yet you victimized. Up is didn't realize. Third eyes visualize. See ya with your heart beat. Up and caution out the speed. Manifest out your mind by saying be no battle be the G.O.D. And you're on the whole street. Saying everything else in it. See, ain't none identical. No matter where you go, your mind don't get it though. Them folks just critical, and then they stick your soul to leave your body cold. Not tell them where to go. That's just the way you go. Up in the front they grill you, come from your right they kill you, and from your left they smear you, and from your back they kill you. Don't get it no, 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 don't get it no. And it's not the same. And it's not a fucking game. The industry, real niggas is dying to get it. The industry just to find they don't fit it. The industry ain't what it used to be. The industry's trying to control the way you ever see it. It wasn't just like this and talk like that, but I'm just like this and talk like that. The industry. Got your word meaning nothing. The industry, fuck what you heard, because he's blood. The industry, money, bitches, hate, for that day to try to take a fucking thing off my plate. The industry, like, wait, the industry be like, get him. 17 up in that thing, get them sleeping, hit him. A pop whips with him. The coroner's coming to get him. Industry niggas. That's right, man. I mean,
All right, hope you enjoyed that. It's basically on the industry. How they got people out here doing stuff, selling their souls, but you ain't got to do that. Ain't none identical to you. You see what I'm saying? Know you're special. Know your worth. Okay? So, with that being stated, let's get back to it. The man who desired gold. The man who desired gold. Bansir, the chariot builder of Babylon, was thoroughly discouraged from his seat upon the low wall surrounding his property. He gazed sadly at his simple home and the open workshop in which stood a partially completed chariot. His wife, his helpmeet, frequently appeared at the open door, not closed, but open. Her furtive glances in his direction reminded him that the meal bag was almost empty and he should be at work finishing the chariot, hammering and hewing, polishing and painting, stretching taut the leather over the wheel rims, preparing it for delivery so he could collect from his wealthy customer. Nevertheless, his fat, muscular body sat stolidly upon the wall. His slow mind was struggling patiently with a problem for which he could find no answer. The hot tropical sun, so typical of this valley of the Euphrates, beat down upon him mercilessly. Beads of perspiration formed upon his brow and trickled down unnoticed to lose themselves in the hairy jungle on his chest. Beyond his home towered the high terraced wall surrounding the king's palace. Nearby, cleaving the blue heavens, blue skies, was the painted tower of the temple of Baal. In the shadow of such grandeur was his simple home and many others far less neat and well cared for. Babylon was like this, a mixture of grandeur and squalor, of dazzling wealth. Salutes up to Roland Martin. In the shadow of such grandeur was his simple home and many others far less neat and well cared for. Babylon was like this, a mixture of grandeur and squalor, of dazzling wealth and dearest poverty, crowded together without plan or system within the protecting walls of the city. Behind him, had he cared to turn and look, the noisy chariots of the rich jostled and crowded aside the sandaled tradesmen, as well as the barefooted beggars. Even the rich were forced to turn into the gutters to clear the way for the long lines of slave water carriers on the business, king's business, each bearing a heavy goat skin of water to be poured upon the hanging gardens. Bansir was too engrossed in his own problem to hear or heed the confused hubbub of the busy city. It was the unexpected twanging of the strings from a familiar lyre that aroused him from his reverie. He turned and looked into the sensitive, smiling face of his best friend, Kobe, the musician. He played good music or bad music, I don't know. But he was a musician. He knew about rhythm. May the gods bless thee with great liberality, my good friend, began Kobe with an elaborate salute. Yet it does not appear they have already been so generous, though, needed not to labor. I rejoice with you in your good fortune. Moreover, I would even share it with you. Pray for your purse, which must be bulging, else you would be busy in your shop. Extract but two humble shackles and lend them to me until after the noblemen's feast this night. You will not miss them ere they are returned. If I did have two shackles, Bansir responded gloomily, to no one, to no one could I lend them, not even to you, my best of friends, for they would be my fortune, my entire fortune. No one lends his entire fortune, not even to his best friend. What? Exclaimed Kobe with genuine surprise. Thou has not one shackle in your purse, yet sit like a statue upon a wall. Why not complete the chariot? How else can you provide for the whole noble appetite? Hmm? 'Tis not like you, my friend. Where is your endless energy? Hmm? Do something distress you? Hmm? Why have the gods brought to you troubles? Huh? A torment from the gods it must be, Bansir agreed. It began with a dream, a senseless dream, in which I thought I was a man of means. From my belt hung a handsome purse, heavy with coins. There were shackles which I cast with careless freedom to the beggars. There were pieces of silver with which I did buy finery for my wife, my helpmeet, and whatever I did desire for myself. There were pieces of gold which made me feel assured of the future and unafraid to spend the silver. A glorious feeling of contentment was within me. You would not have known me for your hard-working friend, nor would you have known my wife. So free from wrinkles was her face, and shining with happiness. She was again the smiling maiden of our early married days. A pleasant dream indeed, commented Kobe. But why should such pleasant feelings as it aroused turn you into a gloom statue upon the wall? Why indeed? Because when I awoke and remembered how empty was my purse, and feeling of rebellion swept over me. Let us talk it over together. For, as the sailors do say, we ride in the same boat, we two. As youngsters, we went together to the priest to learn wisdom. As young men, we shared each other's pleasures. As grown men, we have always been close friends. We have been contented subjects of our kind. We have been satisfied to work long hours and spend our earnings freely. We have earned much coin in the years that have passed. Yet, to know the joys that come from wealth, we must dream about them. Bah, are we more than dumb sheep? We live in the richest city in all the world, just like America. The travelers do say none equals it in wealth. About us is much display of wealth, but China's coming up quick. But of it, we ourselves have nothing. After half a lifetime of hard labor, man, you, my best of friends, has an empty wallet and say to me, may I borrow such a trifle as 2 shackles until after the nobleman's feast this night. Then, what do I reply? Do I say, here is my wallet? Its contents will I gladly share? Nope. I admit my wallet is as empty as yours. What is the matter? Why cannot we acquire crypto and stocks, silver and gold, more than enough for food and robes? Consider also our sons. Bansir continued. Are they not following in the footsteps of their fathers? Need they and their families and their sons families live all their lives in the midst of such treasures of gold, crypto, stock, being your own bank, and yet, like us, be content to banquet upon sour goat's milk and porridge? Never. In all the years of our friendship, did you talk like this before, Bansir? Kobe was puzzled. He couldn't figure it out. Never in all those years did I think like this before. From early dawn until darkness stopped me, I have labored to build the finest chariots any man could make, soft-heartedly, hoping someday the gods will recognize my worthy deeds and bestow upon me great prosperity. This they have never done. At last, I realize this they will never do. Therefore, my heart is sad. I'm grieved, man. I wish to be a man of means. I wish to own lands, the mineral rights, and cattle. To have fine robes, clothes, designer clothes, and coins in my wallet, in my wife's purse, in my bank account. I'm willing to work for these things with all the strength in my back, with all the skill in my hands, with all the cunning in my mind. But I wish my labors to be fairly rewarded. I don't want my labors to be in vain. I don't want all my labor to be in vain. I don't want all my labor to be in vain. They say he died up on the cross. Feel like I'm down on the cross. With all the cunning in my mind, but I wish my labors to be fairly rewarded. What is the matter with us? Again, I ask you, why cannot we have our just share of the good things so plentiful for those who have the gold with which to buy them. Would I know in answer? Kobe replied, no better than you am I satisfied. My homie, my earnings from my Larry are quickly gone. Often must I plan and scheme, scam, plot that my family be not hungry. Also, within my breast, I won't say scheme, plan. Also, within my breast is a deep longing for Larry large enough that it may truly sing the strains of music that do surge through my mind, electrify through my mind. With such an instrument could I make music finer than even the king has heard before. If I had the right equipment and the right people, I could make music better than the king, the ones they say is the top. Such a Larry you should have. No man in all Babylon could make it sing more sweetly, could make it sing so sweetly. Not only the king, but the gods themselves will be delighted by how may you secure it while we both of us are as poor as the king's slaves, man. Listen to the bill. Here they come. He pointed to the long column of half-naked, sweating water bearers, plodding laboriously upon the narrow street from the river. Here they come, going to work. 9 to 5, 2 to 10, 3 to 11, 10 to 6, 12 to 6. Here they come, all out on the highways, going fast, breaking speed barriers like bats from out of hell just to get to work, the working hill. Here they come. He pointed to the long column of half-naked, sweating water barriers, plodding laboriously upon the narrow street from the river. 5 abreast, they marched, each bent over in heavy goat skin of water. Tired, don't want to go to work, wish they could have the day off, can't wait for a vacation, can't wait for a day off. A fine figure of a man. He who do it lead them. Kobe indicated the wearer of the bell who marched in front without a load. The one at the top. He barely picking up an atom, but making way more money than the ones that's busting their tail, picking up over their weight, double their weight, 3 times their weight, 4 times their weight, 5 times their weight, 6 times the weight, but he leading, ain't picking up an atom. A prominent man in his own country, tis easy to see, but he's the prominent man. He's the one they looking up to. What? How's these people really looking? There are many good figures in the land, in the line, in the land, in the business. Bansier agreed. As good men as we, tall, blonde men from the north, laughing black men from the south, little brown men from the nearer countries, all marching together from the river to the gardens, back and forth, day after day, year after year, nothing of happiness to look forward to. Beds of straw upon which to sleep, hard grain porridge to eat. Pity the poor brutes, Kobe. Pity them I do. Yeah, you do make me see how little better off are we. We just a little bit better. Free men, though we call ourselves. That is true, Kobe. Unpleasant thought though it be. We do not wish to go on year after year living slavish lives, working, working, working. He go to work, 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 working, 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 work. Like the seven dwarfs. Getting nowhere, doing something for nothing, putting a lot of energy into something for none back. Might we not find out how others acquire gold and do as they do? Kobe inquired. Shouldn't we be the best of figuring out how they make their riches than just working? Shouldn't we start to look into how they make all that money in the stock market, on online businesses, in the management as being CEOs? Shouldn't we not look into that instead of just working all the goddamn time? Perhaps there is some secret we might learn if we but sought from those who knew, replied Bansier thoughtfully. This very day, suggested Kobe, I did pass our old friend Arcad, riding in his golden chariot, in his Rolls Royce, in his Corvette, in his Lamborghini, in his BMW, in his Benz. This I will say, he did not look over my humble head, as many as his station might consider his right. Instead, he did wave his hand that all onlookers might see him pay greetings, and bestowed his smile of friendship upon Kobe, the musician. He is claimed to be the richest man in all Babylon, in all America, in all Texas, in all Michigan, in all California, in all Miami, in all Georgia. Bansier mused. So rich the king is said to seek his golden aid in affairs of the treasury, Kobe replied. So rich, Bansier interrupted. I fear if I should meet him in the darkness of the night, in a dark alley, in the shadow somewhere, I should lay my hands upon his fat wallet. Nonsense, reproved Kobe. A man's wealth is not in the wallet, in the bank he carries. A fat wallet quickly empties if there be no golden stream to refill it. Arcad has an income that constantly keeps his bank full, no matter how liberally he spends. Income, that is the thing, ejaculated Bansier. I wish an income that will keep flowing into my wallet, whether I sit upon the wall or travel to far lands. Arcad must know how a man can make an income for himself. That dude must know. Chris Cole must know how a man can make an income for himself. Do it suppose it is something he could make clear to a mind as slow as mine? Methinks he did teach his knowledge to his son, no more seer. Kobe responded, did he not go to Nineveh? And so it is told at the end, become without aid from his father. He didn't need him no more. One of the richest men in that city. Kobe, you bring us to me a rare thought. A new light gleamed in Bansir's eyes. It costs nothing to ask wise advice. Wise advice from a good friend. And our CAD was always that. Never mind though, our wallet be as empty as the falcon's nest of a year ago. Let that not disdain us. We are weary of being without gold, money, in the midst of plenty. We wish to become men of means, not men of poverty. Come, let us go to Arcad and ask how we also may acquire incomes for ourselves. Let's go hook up with the BWO, blackwealthopportunities.com. You speak as with true inspiration, Bansir. You bring it to my mind a new understanding. Thou makest me to realize the reason why we have never found an answer of wealth. God, dog, we never sought it. Thou hast labored patiently to build the staunchest chariots in Babylon. Build all these businesses in the city. Some of the top workers on the job. To that purpose was devoted your best endeavors. Therefore, at it, you did succeed. I strove to become a skillful lottery player and, a skillful rapper, a skillful musician, a skillful singer. And at it, I did succeed. In those things toward which we exerted our best endeavors, we succeeded. The gods were content to let us continue thus. Now, at last, we see the light. We are awoke. We have resurrected. Bring like that from the rising sun. Bright, should I say, like that from the rising sun. It bidded us to learn more, that we may prosper more. If we don't learn more, how are we going to prosper more? With the same mentality, thought, actions, year after year, going through the same thing over and over, going through the same crack over and over, but we never learning more. How do we expect to prosper more? No, we have to stop that. Go around the crack, go around the corner, learn something new toward what we trying to achieve so we can prosper more. With a new understanding, we shall find honorable ways, not treacherous ways. We have to find a new understanding to find honorable ways to accomplish our desires. I'm not trying to gain it to lose it as soon as I got it. As long as I've been going without it, why would I go and do something crazy, unhonorable, something wicked, stupid, ignorant, devilish to accomplish it, only to be without anything. No, man, we're going to acquire it with new understanding in an honorable way so we can accomplish our desires. Let us go to arcade this very day, Van Seer urged. Also, let us ask other friends of our boyhood days. Go get some of your homeboys from high school, especially the ones about the money that want to do some things in a bigger way, in a positive way. Your homegirls, you know what I'm talking about. Really about that business, really about that paperwork, who have fared no better than ourselves, to join us that day. Join us that they too may share in his wisdom. You were ever thus thoughtful of your friends, Van Seer. You always thinking about your friends. You always looking about and helping out your homies. You always thinking about. Therefore, you have many friends. It shall be as you see it. We go this day and take them with us. All right there, family. Hope you enjoyed that. Come back next time with some more. See how I'm bringing it to in my own swag. And the closer you are to me, the more you get it. But you'll get it. Just a little while. Hope you enjoyed it. This is our journey on the richest man in Babylon. So don't forget about your friends. Look back and help out your friends, especially if they're in the same condition you in. How you think you're going to get to a higher position or a better position, and you don't look back to the ones you came up with? They was in the same thing. Now, because you done got better, you think you better than your friends, you don't want to look out for them, you will not become the richest in America that way. You cannot become the richest or the wealthiest in the world that way. You have to look out for your people. And the ones that always looked out for your peoples, don't be surprised when you look back, when you're going on a higher level and prospering, and you always looking back, trying to help them out. When the time comes, you be one of the richest men in the world, or richest man in your city or your state or your country. You see that? It ain't all about just splurging for yourself. That's the secret. You must find your inner circle, your peoples that are in the same mind state of going and growing bigger, and bring them along with you to learn what you learn. And more heads than one put it together, you can accomplish more quickly. Why accomplish it by yourself slowly when you can accomplish it more quickly with people in the same mind state? I said same mind state. We'll get more into that, and other brothers and sisters will get more into that. We already got enough out here that you can acquire on those subjects. But I'm pretty sure people will still be constantly bringing up these subjects because these are a must needed ingredient to bring wealth and prosperity to our people. Okay. And with that, we're going to go on and drop another song on here, family. Hope you enjoy it. This song right here is, I played that one later. We're going to do, let's see. This is the Night. Okay. This is the Night wasn't doing so good at first. Now it was popping up. As you see, as you go down, I was putting them with the most plays, but I'm putting it with the most love. This one got the most love. The one with the least love, it just put it up there though. I put it at the top. So as you go down, the love for the songs increase. There's about to be a lot of more songs on here too. I'm working on some albums too. So just a little while. We're gonna go on and this one right here been the hottest one lately. So I'm gonna go on and play this one. I mean, these loves this black president though. Oh my God, it had like 100 some plays yesterday alone. That was like 400. That bad boy blew up. These ain't been up here that long. These only not even a week long. This one ain't even but a few days. But these two, this black president and this one here, this one ain't. These ain't been about a week. This bad boy almost 1,000 already by itself. So yeah, I'm gonna go and play this black. So I'm gonna prepare the Titans. I'll play this one. Hope you enjoy it.
I think a lot of them are not motivated. Romulus production. I think a lot of them don't know. Really, they know some kind of way, but they're not able to articulate how it's really the power, This is just not just. We got plenty coming in all cities. Niggas saying talk, man, we all in it. Wait a minute, don't get it, come get it. The head's too damn small, don't get it. Go in, type of life, go get it. Get on the block, about what you done to. Oh, really, but man, don't get it. Put so many man plans to go with it. So many, all of them bitch, check in. Anytime we day, don't shock in. Lock in, good man, knock in. Wrong in, good, soft in, toss in, oh God, the boss in. Why you niggas playing with me, cross it, I'm lost with it, to you, I cost it. Niggas got the line, but you cross it. Ain't with it, but niggas you don't get it. City bitch, put the pills, you don't with it. Wrong with it, come strike your home with it. You niggas round too much, you get a bone with it. Back on with it, before we take the bone with it. Alone with every chick, come be the bone with it. You know with it, in your face, you bone with it. See your ass disgrace, no bitch, you don't with it. Wrong with it, so little boy, you go with it. I'm talking with it, your ass is all in it. And that's me, who the boy, the crush in it. Push your motherfucker, what the fuck is on this? Don't kill, be the truth, and go kill. Break it, see the proof on they dinner. And go get it, get stuff, and on the hill. See the devil who live flesh with frostbite. Spoon pickers, when these niggas is head sick. They're push on the edge, no fit. So listen, see the face, they don't get you. Already know what you got, the clock ticking. So if you listen, well, how I came in the kitchen. Did you hear me? How I came in the kitchen. And still fishing, gotta go back and deal business. I knew you down with it, take your cake, today. Click, clap, they bang it, slang it. Until you got a bang it, you hang with it. Damn right, you hang with it. Cause you number one man got things in it. The man with it, who you looking strange with it. Ain't got a goddamn thing cause you playing with it. Who the man with it, and who the man silly. Cause when it comes to it, you get it all better. How I know? Make yourself evident that you can distinguish between two different kinds of prisoners. You can distinguish two different kinds of prisoners as a political thinking. How do you do that? When you first come into the cell, like when you walk on, how do you know which prisoners have a political consciousness and which are the other ones? Some of them, a lot of them ask me, brother, what's going on? They just don't know. They know me, they heard about me. They heard about the party. They heard about Huey and all of us, contributing together. And they outright asked you, what's going on. So, a lot of them. You think that they don't know how to manipulate us? So we want scientists, we had labs, we were genes like
That bad boy jumped all the way to that one to play atomic bomb on this bad boy. But yeah, that's prepare for the Titans family. It'll be prepared for purchase shortly. All of these. I'm working on all of these, let alone some albums. But it's a couple of them on here already. You can go to Apple, Amazon, and a lot of the other Tidal and things of that nature, and you can purchase it. All right, stream it. All right, and help your brother out, support me, so I don't have to go out here and work in this line. That I can go on out here with my brothers and gain this wisdom to get this prosperity. You feel me? So with that being stated, we're gonna go and get some of these secrets out. About to go into some of these secrets that most of us don't know about. We need to bring into documentaries. Don't be surprised you hit the jackpot bringing out these secrets. And some people have already been bringing them out, and they have been hitting the jackpot. Okay. So this one here is on first ministers were licensed to control. First ministers were licensed to control. The American War for Independence gave blacks, both free and enslaved, cause to express their interest in religious freedom. But fearing blacks would use the Bible to seek freedom, education, or black unity, whites applied strict limits to black religious services, while a few blacks, a few blacks, mostly house, as opposed to field, in the field slaves, were allowed to attend services with whites. They were required to sit in separate all black sections. We need to be seeing this type of stuff in our movies we're making today. No more time for the bull crap. We don't need no fools making the movie. We need the truths making the movie. Okay? Once white slave owners realized that religion could serve as an excellent mechanism. I don't know what the full screen, I ain't even tried. But anyway, like it's got a mind of its own. Move this phone from my controller something. Once white slave owners realized that religion could serve as an excellent mechanism to control slaves, they allowed field blacks to attend services as long as they were accomplished by a white overseer looking over. Because owners did not want black field hands in their own churches. So you come to our church so we can look over you and check you out and make sure you ain't getting something we don't want you to get. We don't want you to have your own. Boy, come work for us, boy. We don't want you to have your own job. Well, you can come get your education from us. We'll pay for that, but we don't want you to get your own schools. To this day, they built modest chapels for them on their plantations. By the latter part of the 18th century, whites in many slave states decided to allow blacks to build their own churches and conduct their own religious services. The change of heart may have been motivated in part by a sincere desire to encourage the Christianizing of blacks. Make them all Christians, Billy, Bruno. But the relentless push for increased control was never far from the surface. It was only for control purposes. You know how the elite be talking about things for control purposes? Make them all Christians that are black for control purposes, because we're afraid of the black more Messiah. In response to independent services conducted by and for blacks, a national policy evolved requiring whites to select a licensed all black preachers. You gotta get a license to be one of these preachers. You can't just get out here and start preaching. You gotta come through get a certification, a bullshit degree, or professor of nothing degree, or master of hell degree, associate of nothing degree, before you can do anything considered legal as far as teaching. But this is on preaching, especially if you're black. Dominant white society controlled black religion, its ministers, and churches. We own the church. If you don't do what we tell you, Reverend, we're going to take away our money that back in your church. So you do what I tell you to do, boy. You understand me? Did you hear me? Catechism. For religious instruction of slaves commonly bore such passages as, who gave you a master and a mistress? Who gave you a master and a mistress? God gave them to me. Who says that you must obey them? God says that I must. A black congregation had the potential of being a source of unrest. So slave owners allowed only the most pliable, compromising, and controllable blacks to become licensed as the ministerial head of black congregations. We didn't acquire this big $1 million church. I knew we could do it. All praises due to God. But are you the most pliable? Are you the most compromising? Are you the most controllable minister for the black congregation? Who gave you the money? The licensed black ministers were expected to encourage their fellow blacks to be meek, obedient, and accepting of whites as masters. Are you meek, minister? Are you obedient? Are you accepting the whites as your masters? In this arrangement, blacks were to remain loyal to whites. Without the whites, I can't even do it. Damn, God dog, ain't that something? Without whites, you can't do it. And worldly gratification was postponed until after death. I hope I ain't all up in your church now. Don't let me be all up in your church with this truth now. The licensed black preachers were supposed to defer to secular authorities on political matters and avoid comments on the injustices blacks suffered. I done acquired this big church, but I will not speak on the injustices of blacks suffered. That's what I'm talking about, Reverend. I hope it ain't all in your church now. Are you talking about injustices of blacks? What injustices of blacks have you put out on your YouTube today, Reverend? What injustices of blacks have you put out on your TV show, your radio show, Reverend? I hope it ain't all up in your church. Something's starting to smoke. Something is starting to smoke up in that bad boy. Since blacks could not develop businesses, where your businesses at, huh? I hope the smoke ain't turning to a little bit of red coal up under there. But you know it got to be a little red coal before it gets smoking. I mean, really getting to see it now. Nor enter the professional ranks. The ministry became a business as well as a job. So you in the ministry as well as a business of not giving the injustices of blacks and keeping them out of business. I hope I'm not in your church. That bad boy is on fire. Black ministers began cropping up across the nation. Unlike the white communities, they became instant leaders. Ain't no instant leaders in the white communities just because you're a minister. That don't make me know you ain't no Billy. I know you're the reverend, but you ain't the leader over here in this community. You know what I'm saying? You become the instant leader in the black community. Interesting. Popularity. You become popular. Respect. You get the respect. And income security. Oh man, you ain't got to worry about no income. Came with the position. There were no educational requirements. You ain't got to have no degree or nothing to get this position here. Oh man, that bad boy's on fire blazing, man. Call the ambulance. Somebody call the ambulance. Only a social obligations to support the status quo between the races. It was not difficult to find blacks in every community and plantation willing to accept the prescribed leadership, or should I say prescribed experiment role for a preacher, the prescribed vaccine role for a preacher. In 1783, for instance, Jesse Peters became one of the first blacks to receive a preaching license. Jesse, he was one of the first. Jesse Peters. About to do you like Jesse James. Jesse Peters. God dang, don't let him do you like Jesse James. He was appointed to lead America's first Negro Baptist church. The first Negro Baptist church, Jesse Peters. Don't let him do you like Jesse James. Located in Silver Bluff, South Carolina. Joseph Willis was the first to deliver a Protestant sermon west of the Mississippi River. And here, you know, they still down there in Mississippi cotton picking. They ain't resurrected nobody over there in Mississippi all these decades, man. Supposed to be. Joseph Willis, you ain't the first doing nothing really, because the bad boy's still over there picking cotton and catching hell. I hope it ain't in your church, because if I'm in your church is on fire, burning, ambulance on the way, smoke black all in the air, people running out the church. Where the budding minister also moderated the first statewide Baptist organization in Louisiana Association. Man, I know he just didn't say Louisiana. Them bad boys popping off like pop. That bad boy is July 4th every day over there in some parts of Louisiana. Where was they at when the Katrina happened? We seen what happened on the Katrina. Bad boy didn't even want them to come across the bridge. You just stay on over there, up in that thing over there. You ain't coming on. Get the dogs, Billy. Get the hoses, Billy. Joseph Willis ain't did nothing look like over there. Black churches are now the oldest black business in America and one of the few to survive integration. Them black churches survived it all. The Great Depression, survived the Katrina, the cocaine and the crack, surviving the drugs and the vaccines. Them black churches is surviving. I wonder how you're surviving. Everything else go down. All the black businesses go down. All the houses go down. All the families break up and go down. All the babies getting killed in the street and going down. All the infant babies getting stealed and used for body parts, and just like Kanika Jenkins and everything else, and shootings on the street, they're going down. But them black churches have survived. Ain't that something? Out of everything else, them black churches survive. Man, your church ain't on fire. It's about to blow up. If I'm in your church. If I'm in your church. Over there. In church business, the whole black people out of business. Y'all better wake up today. Respect me to the day they are resurrected. Well, you about to find out if they resurrected pretty soon. And with that being done, family, I hope you enjoyed it. We're going to come back with some more of them secrets in a little while. You see, I just gave you one secret. Them bad boy black churches on fire. That's for sure. Let's go on in. Yeah, I'm feeling so good. We're gonna go on and drop another song on this. We got to do another song before we go out, family. I ain't gonna even do no metros because I wasn't even expecting going this long. But man, that got me so supercharged. If I gotta hit one of my songs be going a little hard on. Since he wanted to do the atomic bomb, I'm gonna let it play the atomic bomb. Then, how about that?
You think that they don't know how to manipulate us? So we were scientists, we had labs, we were gene splicers, and we created what is known as the European. We were into taking man and making God. They have the power of taking God and turning him to man. They reverse engineering us. That's what we see right now. Can't stop it when it's popping, hypnotic. Up on the product, go ahead and cock it. Yeah, we got it. Like it, body up, nodded. You topic on, lock it. For the profit, getting higher. You desire, building black empires, king sire, no higher. Fires, on fire, melt the tires. I'm at fire, never tire. Peace, I'm Maya. Bunny rider,
Supersonic, bionic, got gun it.
you know you want it, cause I
On it,
and you ain't up
on it,
while you're rocking culture, knowing nothing, keep it popping, dipping, dumping, know you
up to something.
feel it in the
Stomach,
yeah, you get
nothing.
we humping, we keep it coming, portraying the dumb above the
Bumming,
eating onions, smelling onions, smoking onions, steady humming, ain't
saying nothing.
but keep it pumping, not bumping, trigger jumping, don't kill nothing, blood pumping.
Yeah, we up to something.
Niggas dying, mama's crying, fires flying, buildings dying. With the lions not
Even lying.
know they spying while they crying, me iron, but we ain't lying with the iron. Ancient like the
Mayans,
know you buying, cause we iron, balls flying, ringing sirens, type iron, why you crying? We loving this, hugging this, in the
abundantness.
who is this? We is this? No denying this, trying this, you dismiss, from twisting this, foolishness, cool with this, true with this, you so through with this, you know with this, to do with this, crew with this, crew with this, flew with this, flew with this, top, let's
Accomplishment,
and flew with this, stock, glue with this, go with this, who with this,
woo with this,
not
do with this.
shit, that's it.
Yeah. So I hope you enjoy the family. We about to be on up out of here. Uh-oh. Come on with another. Hold up. Wait. Where you at? You want to play Thriller? That boy jumping around. Ain't even doing it. Got a mind of his own. But, you can go on and check that out on my site. You'll be able to purchase all those shortly. So with that being stated, family, heavens to the family. Keep your heads up, stay focused, and read.